So fantastic. A lot more lies ahead. So can we take just one more feedback before we hand over to our coach, Dr. Alabi? One more feedback, very quickly, please. Very quickly. Okay, that means you're going to make me call you again. I'm going to call someone. I can't see the names very well. All right, so who is Sam? Okay. Okay. Who is Temi Jane Aromolaro? I can't see the names.
Okay, you tried. That's me. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Hello. Hey, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. I think from my end, the the network is going on, so you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, I've been under the tutelage of Dr. Alabi since last year. So, some of these things are not particularly new to me. These are things I've been trying to incorporate in my daily life. So I would say the only thing I've found a bit new is the sand thing that I had to walk barefoot in a sandy environment. So I did that today, but because I don't have sand around me, I had to put sand in a bowl and I put my barefoot in it for about an hour. I found it relaxing. I didn't even know that time was fast spent by the time I was done doing that, but it was quite relaxing. And also because I've been taking a lot of water, I see clearer skin and clearer vision as well. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for the feedback. So grounding, you found grounding really effective. I was thrown out briefly, but I heard what you said as regards grounding and taking the water, and of course, your skin will glow naturally. You'll glow and you look beautiful from inside out because you're taking care of your insides, and surely it's going to reflect on the outside. All right, so I'll hand over. Thank you very much for all those who gave us feedback. So I'll hand over the virtual podium to our coach, Dr. DG Alabi. You're welcome, sir.
Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Olota, for holding the fort while till I go back here. And those feedbacks are so powerful. Nice feedbacks from everyone. Right. So let me just do this. Take out this spotlight. Okay. So nice feedback from everyone. I do think that we are doing well. It's just the number 4. So you can imagine what is going to happen as we go on to day 21, right? So we have a lot. We have lots and lots to benefit from all of this. Okay, so I will be speaking about the importance of the grounding today, and the 3 things we really want to rely on in the things that we do. All right, so some people are joining us on YouTube and Facebook as well, which is okay. So you can tell people to join on those platforms. It's the same thing going on live. All right, so there is something that is important. 3 things that what the things we do here, we evaluate them, like we benchmark them with. Number 1 is that whatsoever we recommend are science supported. Dr. Ajayi and I had a lot of conversations around COVID-19 when it started, because I know that he belongs to several associations of scientists, researchers. These are global, bodies of of scientists and researchers, and I make sure that I tapped into that to get as many papers, studies as possible. Excuse me. And it was so interesting to find out researches and studies that had gone, first of all, on SARS-1, and then many of them were conclusive, some were not conclusive. The things that worked, which of course formed the basis for finding cure to COVID-19, which is the second SARS, right? So the second and third one, right? Because I know there was another one that happened in the Middle East. It wasn't common, it wasn't popular, but it came up, but they were able to handle that, right? So the point is, whatever we recommend, they are science supported. So we are not just bringing something from, from the space, from the cloud that cannot be supported, right? Number two, they are people proven. People proven in the sense that there are people who had used them and it had worked for them. One of my mentors is Dr. Colin T. Campbell. Colin T. Campbell. I met him for the first time about 4 years ago. And even that 4 years ago when I met him was about 85. So right now he should be 89. He stands very straight as a white man. He was the one who did the first documented search and study on holistic medicine. He's a professor of medicine, professor emeritus at Cornell University, one of the biggest universities in the world. Already he has a department, he has a program to his name and all that. So he went to China and he wrote the book, The China Study. The China Study. The book is about 20 years old right now, but you can grab it, just take it as your introductory material to study into what medical sciences is likely going to be. Of course, many people are already embracing this. And what is it that they're embracing? Is the fact that most of the problems we have and challenges we have with our health, they are primarily because we are departing from nature and the order for which God created things with. The order is set in motion for us to walk and to work in. Doctors who will tell you, no, there is nothing like that. It has never happened before. Please, know who you are reading, know who you're following. It's so important. In one of the videos, I was saying there that in the few years of my practice, I've seen so many people who want to come up and contest or challenge the things that I talk about. And I don't argue with them. The moment they begin to throw up their challenges, I know that these are very young doctors. Maybe they're just 10 years, 15 years in practice. But I have met people who had spent 40 years in practice. And they will tell me if there was a woman, a woman who was a chief medical director for an important teaching hospital. I won't mention the name of the place. And then she had to refer her husband, for consultation with me. And she said to me that in all the 40 years of my practice, this is what we know. And the things you are saying are the things that can save life. From the book, sometimes we are confined to work by the books, because that is what the profession and the ethics lies on. But we know that most times, these things that we are prescribing to people to use, they do not really help. So, which do you want to believe? In 2016, I was having a training event, and at the training event, a woman was there. The first day of the program, the first day I spoke for like 2 hours, and after speaking, 3-day program, I've just spoken for the first day, 22 hours. And she said to me, very unfortunate, she said, if we had met you 6 months ago, I would not be a widow today. She said, everything you were saying, we were asking our doctors, should we do this? Should we stop this? Should we stop that? And they told my husband, don't worry, just begin to do whatever you are doing. Take the medications we give to you. And the man passed on. He passed away. And the woman said, if we had met you a few months back, my husband probably would still be alive. Why? There is a limitation when it comes to some of the things people had read. And everybody will want to advise you based on what they know. It's not because they are wicked, but that was what they were trained and what they were, to practice. I have some clients here in Canada, and then, their doctors had come to their wits' end when it comes, on their cases. They had given up on them. So they kept trying and experimenting, and they said, look, we are done. We are tired of this experiment you guys are carrying out on us. And then they met with me. Let me tell you this, that in about 4 months, 4 months, 2 months, the doctors were asking, what are you guys doing differently? What exactly are you doing differently? These are not Nigerian doctors, these are specialists. They say, what are you guys doing differently? Because they had given up completely on their cases. Like nothing else can happen. Sometimes they tell you just go and manage it. So what I'm saying is that some of these things, all of the things we do are people proven. There are people that are using it, that have used them, and it does work for them. Number 3, they are time tested. Time tested in the sense that, look, let us not deceive ourselves. Let's not deceive ourselves. I tell this to, the Pentecostal movement, the new wave of churches, which has carried away so many good things. We have thrown so many, we have been, I don't want to use the word fanaticized, but it looks like that. Because when this faith religion came, in both the two religions, the predominant religions we have in Nigeria and in Africa, so to speak, a lot of the good things that our forebears, our forefathers were doing were demonized. And then we were accepting a new faith. In accepting the new faith, we threw those things out. Breaking news. The people who told us to throw those things out, they have gone to pick them where we threw them. Now, they've dusted them. They are researching and studying them. And they are repackaging them. And they are beginning to sell them back to us in Africa. You see where we're going to be having issues. We threw away so many things. Some of them some traveled all the way from Cuba, from America. They went to Osogbo in Ife to go and carry all the Osun priests there. They begin to learn all the RF. I'm like, what is going on? But that is not what I'm trying to say. The point is that there are so many healing practices, so many things that are native and traditional to us, to our culture, that we threw away. And we cannot throw them away. And that is part of the things that we'll be discussing today. I know many people who would not do the grounding because they would think this is fetish. They say we should go and carry sand. Are we trying to do voodoo? But we will get there. And then we will just explain how it works, why it works. And if you are looking for papers, just go online. There are several papers, documented studies by professors, researchers, to confirm these things work. And there are many, many factors, many phenomena like that before now, they look alien to sciences, to modern sciences. But now they are beginning to find reason for them. For example, let me give you a very brief example. I hope I'm not scaring anybody. Just be relaxed in your mind. Now you are all seeing me. I can see the people who have their videos on. Isn't it? All right. Okay. So, before now, what we are doing right now is modern technology. That is where we'll put it, right? But do you know that so many cultures were doing this 50, 60, 70 years ago? Do you know that? Except that they will just begin to call some voodoo. It doesn't they call. I was saying, look, sometimes the things they call when they do these things, they use those things to mystify them. For example, somebody says, take this leaf and take this leaf, combine it and drink it. They will now say, call something into it. It is that thing they are asking you to call into it. They just don't want to miss it. Whether you call anything to it or not, it's going to work because the power is in that leaf, is in that herb, not in what they are asking you to call. They only use that to be, which is the evil of the of those cultures. Now say, go and bring one goat, go and bring this, spill the blood. And then who is going to eat the goat? The man, because he knows you won't pay for his services. So he says, go and bring goats. Bring yam. He's going to eat the yam. But those things, we threw all of them away because we felt they were fetish. Because the people behind them in those days, they also added some things to make it, mysterious. They built a myth around it. And many of them died with it. Nobody was able to go and study them. But look at countries like China. That is not the case. It is what they have studied over the years, the herbs. They've studied over the years, practices, things that surround nature. They've studied over the years. They also have their own voodoo-like stuff that they do. But a chunk of them have been able to come out and research those things. Find scientific explanations to justify their occurrences and the results that they give. So they remove the voodoo, they remove all the jazz. Let me use the word jazz now. They remove the jazz and look out for what exactly is responsible for this, because all these are substances that occur in nature. So those three things are important: time-tested, people-proven, and science-supported facts. Those are the things that we recommend. And you will never hear me say, before you use it, put it 2 times on your forehead. I will never say that. You never hear me tell you to go and put the blood of goat on it. Never. You will never hear me say that. There is no science behind that. Then that is going towards jazz and all that. So remove all of that. Clear your mind and your conscience about certain things. Then it's going to help you to know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it, so that you can totally embrace the benefits of it. So why do we ask that you ground yourself, that you walk barefooted? So I will start from some basic facts of, creation. Humans are created, the human body, let me use that word, the human body is created from the soil. And the principle of God for creation is that for everything He makes, their sustenance, what will be required to sustain them, is going to be found from the source material from which they were made from. Okay? So you find that the fishes would only thrive in water because that is where they came out from. Birds will find their sustenance and their source in the air. That is where they came out from. Humans will find their source, their sustenance from their source, which is the soil from which He made them from. And then when humans die, they go back to the same soil to perform those rites on them. It is the way that God has made everything. I was explaining the process of photosynthesis, which is where we derive our sustenance from, the soil, our body, right? The nutrients our body require for success, for living, they are found in the soil, which is where our body comes from, right? The soil. The nutrients are there in the soil, but we cannot be eating the soil, right? So what happens is that the plants help us to absorb, uptake those nutrients from the soil through the photosynthetic process that involves the interjection of the sun, and then the chlorophyll that is found in the plants, and then the carbon dioxide that they breathe in. And once that uptake takes place, the food, they take all the nutrients, and when we take those plants, we are also able to adapt those nutrients into our own bodies. That is just the simple thing that God has given to us. I have found people, let me also say this, right? If you find those traditional orthopedic healers or practitioners, those people who they won't put POP. All they do, they'll just get 2 sticks to help people when people have broken bones and all of that. You wonder what they use and why they use those things they use. For their own bandage, what they use is mud. They apply it over the skin, the affected area where the broken bone is. That is where it is applied. The white man tells us they use POP, plaster of Paris. That's what they put there. They put a cast. Their own cast is done differently. It could take a longer period anyway, because it doesn't hold it firm enough. But why am I saying that is that by doing that, they are bringing the broken part closer to nature and to its source as much as it can. That can expedite the healing process for that fellow. Why? The human body has the ability to heal itself or to reverse any condition, provided it is given the suitable condition to do that. Your body is so intelligent, it can heal itself, it can reverse any condition. How do we know? How many of us had cuts? Maybe while doing something with blade, with razor, you cut yourself, and then you didn't even do anything. After 2 days, you go back to the same place. It is healed up. That is the power of your body. That is what your body can do. As simple as the cut is, the same thing applies to every other area of your body. They have the ability to heal themselves. Before cancer becomes a major problem, the body has been managing it for about 10 years. Minimum 10 years. Before cancers become explosive and everybody's like, oh, we get cancer. The body has been managing it for like 10 years minimum. That is the intelligence of the human body. It not gets to a point where the body can't manage it anymore. Then it explodes. It's then we now say, it's cancer. No. It didn't just start yesterday. The body has been doing a good job 10 years before now. Which is why taking the steps that we recommend for this program will come handy. We don't know who is about to enter into that phase that the cancer will become explosive right now. But the things that we begin to do in these few days is enough to reverse that trend. And I can guarantee you that the practices in these 21 days, if you are consistent with it and you continue with it, it can bring about the reversal of any condition. And I mean any condition. Some of the cases that we have handled are the cases of autoimmunity. Autoimmune diseases are diseases of your immune system fighting against your body. Medically, there is no cure. There is no management. I can count on my fingertips how many. How many has been reversed? People have gone on to live their lives normally. And one of the processes that work for the reversal of autoimmune diseases is grounding. This process that we're dealing with today, that I've said does do, is grounding. Grounding helps to achieve that. And how is that possible? So, researchers have found out. And so, we don't do medical sciences alone with biology and chemistry. Medical sciences has to be explained in physics. So, don't let me scare people, some people who didn't do sciences, right? So, in physics, in electricity, you will find that we have, look at the plug, the socket. Wish I could get one now and show you what I'm talking about. If you see your socket, it has 3 pins, 3 mouths. One is the neutral, one is the positive, one is negative. Now, the one is earth. I think that's the way it's described. Now, for an entire building, for every house, you will even go to the top of the building. There is a rod that is always placed there in case of lightning, so that the house, the electrical fitting and everything in the house will not go nuts. And that is done so as to ground the house. That grounding also has to do with the wiring of the property of the house itself. So you have the earth that is making everything even. There are houses where if it's not properly grounded, when you touch cables, there is an escape of voltage, electric current. Everything begins to shock. It's because there is no proper grounding. That is not static shock that you experience in people who live in climates like ours now, that everything is going to something. That is not a static shock thing, right? Now, so in every house, that grounding process is there, and what it does is that it makes sure that, look, there's a balance. That balance is required so that there will not be unnecessary escape or unnecessary discharge of power around that building, around that appliance, around the house. The same can be explained for the human body. Our bodies are carrying out and discharging, as we are here right now, a whole lot of electrical discharges, exchanges are going on in our bodies, unknown to us. We have so much electrical discharge going on, exchanges going on. One of the new discoveries in dealing with cases of cancer is that they can check the voltage of a cell, and by checking the voltage of the cell, they can determine if the cell is cancerous or not. If you have ever been to the shop of any electrician, they have this voltmeter that has 2 mouths. One is black and one is red. They put it and they use it to test whether any part, they test the discharge, they test the current flowing from it. Exactly. Now, so when we get to a lab, they want to do biopsy, that test can be carried out to say if this cell if this tissue is actually cancerous or not. If it's cancerous, it's going to be discharging more than normal, or it's going to be discharging low, very low, below the normal discharge that every cell should discharge. Every cell in your body, there is a discharge going on there. Right. Grounding helps to balance, to bring balance, which is what Tai Chi is also, is also meant to achieve. That Tai Chi is meant to help us to achieve balance. Maybe Dr. Ajayi will still come and take a session on this bio energy, because it is the answer to so many things going wrong in people's bodies. For example, inflammation. Remember what I said in some of our earlier tapes and videos, that when you listen to the name of any infection and it ends with IS, whatever name it is, once IS is the ending of it, it means it is an inflammation. Arthritis is an inflammation. Tonsillitis is an inflammation. So you can begin to give them the names. Once the name ends with an IS, it is an inflammation. So grounding is one sure cure to undo inflammation. I am saying what has been proven. There are researches to show it. And they have had people who even have autoimmune disorders that just mere going through grounding, it solves everything. And they are back to normal. People who are distressed, emotional health. There have been cases of emotional health that have been solved. Like people who have anxiety, panic attacks, and they just have to do just a few things, like the things we're asked to do. Get in touch with nature, go into the beach, walk barefooted, get the sand, and get this and get that. And then that was just the end of it. That was the end of it. Right? A lot is happening within us because of our detachment. Because we are detached, we are detached from reality, we are detached from nature. Most of us will wear our socks from morning till night, and that is all we do. Our fathers in the olden days, like I was explaining yesterday, in the morning, what are they doing? They're on the farm. They pull off their shoes because they need to cultivate the ground. After that is done, they pull it back. When they get back home, most of the homes they live are not cemented. You see them in the moonlight in the evening. All the kids are out. They sit in the mat. They tell stories, and then they go to bed. They live longer. All the witches, people say people in the villages are witches. The witches are living longer. You that you run to the city by 40, 45, you have a condition already in your body that will eventually kill you. So who is living a healthy life? Who is having a problem? Shouldn't we go and ask them in the village, what are they doing differently that is making them to live a healthier, a fitter life? These are the things that we're sharing with us. And grounding is one of them. They maintain a constant contact with nature, the source of man. Number two, when we look at the pots that we cook with, because we will get there sometimes in the course of this class, and then people have used all kinds of modern technology in their cookware. You find those who use aluminum cookware, they call it the non-stick. The non-stick is aluminum cookware coated with Teflon. That is that black thing. Now that black thing there is Teflon. If you Google Teflon, it's going to tell you that it has been classified as a grade A carcinogen by WHO almost 20 years back. Carcinogen means it's a cancer-causing agent. Right. That's what so many people are feeding and eating with in their pot. They cook for the entire family. They call it non-stick, and it's so popular. Right. But the main metal is aluminium. And if you were in Nigeria, some other countries, when you use aluminum cookware to cook, you discover at some point there is a hole drilled into the pot, and you wonder if somebody took a nail to drive that hole in there. But that was not what happened. The aluminum leached into your food, and then you ate it into your food. Now, what this affects is that at some point in later years, an accumulation of heavy metals like aluminum could lead to some neurodegenerative disorders, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and the likes of them. And many people don't know this. They're just cooking with aluminum cookware. Aluminum cookware. That's what many people are cooking with. Not just the cookware, even the foil. Anything that has aluminum laced with it, shouldn't go into your body at all, right? So that is another thing people use in cooking. And you have those who use some other things to cook. But what we discover is that the most healthy form of cookware you can ever use is the earthen cookware. The pots, those mud pots, they are, you don't even need to debate it. Scientists has proven it also. You can go ahead and begin to research it as well and just go Google it and find out. In terms of the taste of the food, they enhance the taste, they preserve the taste, the natural taste of the food. They give your food natural flavor. Number two, they help the food to conserve the nutrients that are in them. Right. But today, how many of us can cook with those pots? Those earthen mud pots. If you carry it to anybody's house, they will say, that guy is fetish. He's doing something juju in his house. Nobody wants to do that. But that is nature. That is part of the earth that I talked about. Number three, several building materials have been researched. Materials used in building, from cement to all the likes of them, and then wood, all sorts have been researched to find out which confers health on people most. People who live in mud houses, those red bricks, they've been found, number one, in terms of ventilation, they are the best. No matter how hot it is out there, if you put water in those pots, those earthen pots, it will always be cool. And many of you grew up in the city, so you will not understand the things I'm saying. But you can just call if you still have grandparents at home in the village. They never had a refrigerator. That was how they get cold, cool water to drink. It's always cool to drink, room temperature, but night it won't be hot. The same applies to people who live in houses built with mud or red bricks. The house has a better health advantage over houses built with cement, built with the other things that people talk about. What am I trying to say? That all of these are saying one thing, pointing to one thing, that look, the human body derives its source from the soil. The more you detach yourself from those things, the farther you are moving away from health. And the more you get closer to those things, the closer you are getting to a good health. So when you ground your body, number one, is helping your energy balance. It's helping your energy balance. And your energy balance determines a whole lot. Like I said, a lot of discharge is going on within our body. It determines a whole lot. The organs of your body, your kidneys, your liver, all of those things are also benefiting from grounding. When you ground your body, those things are benefiting from grounding. There are some practitioners that grounding is their main healing protocol. Is their main healing protocol. And they've seen results. People with kidney failures. I was reading one article earlier today after the fitness session for the UK people. And I was reading about a scholarly article published and written by a scientist from Japan. And he was documenting how grounding was used to heal kidney failure after about 3 years. First of all, they began to see changes in dialysis. In the urea, and then they began to see those changes. And as they were progressing, after 3 good years, they were able to reverse a kidney that has been prescribed to be like condemned. This can't work anymore. Let's think about having a transplant and stuff like that. And just through grounding. Now, grounding can be done in several ways. I'm going to explain that as well before I round up the ways through which you can ground your body. The one we recommended for these 21 days is for you to get the sand and then put your feet on it at least for 1 hour. I know people will put it in their car, like, okay, you have a driver who drives you. So they put the sand on the carpet where they sit. So once they get into their vehicle, they remove their shoes and they put their feet right there. It's touching that sand, and then maybe they're in traffic for 1 hour. That's okay. They've achieved their own 1 hour of grounding. If you do not have, I think I saw somebody on the page who said, I had to travel. I don't even know where to get sand. There is no sand around me. So what that says to you is that when you are thinking about your property, the next place you are going to live, before you buy a house and a building, take certain factors into consideration. Don't, if it's possible for you not to live in the epic center of a city where there are so many industrial activities going on, it is possible for you, it's the greatest thing you can do to your health, especially for those of us who are living in cities that have fast-paced stuff going on there, right? You want to sit back and ask yourself, so what is the benefit or advantage of living in a place where I don't have access to a garden, I don't have access to nature, everywhere is cemented, everywhere is tarred. So from your house, everywhere, in fact, there are places where you can't even find any trace of soil. But you will discover that in modern designs, because of all these facts, they are trying to have green areas, even in people's homes. So why would you go and build your house or buy an apartment where you don't have access to these? And then you can be on for like this without you having you don't even see anything natural around you. I was in a store during Christmas, and they would sell a pot just like this pot for $45. They put sand in it, right? So that you can put your flower in it, a flower pot. $45. And in my mind, I'm saying, $45 for what? Because, you always want to quickly convert it to Naira. You say, what I will just get behind my house? Get one paint plastic, carry shovel, put it inside the pot, and take it home. $45. And people are buying it. You know why they're buying it? Because they want a feel of nature in their living rooms, in their homes, in their houses. Now, if you have such in your house, if you have a compound that has a backyard, that has a garden, it is a plus. It is something you need to consider going forward while you are building. Some people build their houses, they are the owner of the property, and they max everything out. Everywhere is cemented, no green area, no place to plant any tree, no place to put anything there. It is not good for your health. If you are running a property, it could be a business property, even for a business compound. Businesses now also understand that, look, we have to inculcate part of nature into our design. There is no modern architect who doesn't know that any longer anyway. Even in Dubai, where you have skyscrapers and you have several floors of houses, you will find that on particular floors, you will get there, either a fountain is running, they have a place where you have some flowers and some natural things growing within the building. And then the way it is designed, they design those things in a position where it can still get sunlight, it can still trap sun for it to grow. Why are they doing that? It's because they understand the importance of getting as close to nature as possible. I want to advise that pay attention to your environment, pay attention to where you live, pay attention to your homes, pay attention to what you surround yourself with. So grounding will help to handle inflammation. It will help to handle autoimmune disorder. It will help to handle stress, mental stress. Grounding will help to handle mental stress. It will help to handle wound repair. I mentioned that in the case of people who have broken bones and you see them putting a cast with mud over the bone. Grounding will do that. Now, there are grounding sheets. So apart from getting the soil and putting your feet on it, there are grounding sheets. So people sleep on it, like a bed sheet. There are sheets like that are grounding sheets. You can just go on Google and ask for grounding sheets. About between $100 to $150. You have these sheets, you just lay them on your bed, then you sleep on them. So it helps to ground your entire body. It's healthy, it's faster, it's not sand. There are grounding sheets, it's technology. Just Google grounding sheets. There are also grounding mats, just like the sheets that are mats. So you can, in fact, some people buy the mats, instead of using the sheets as a bedding, they use the mat, they lay on it. My grandmother, I remember that my grandmother, before she passed on about 25 years ago, the last time I visited her, her bed was made with mud. I don't know if that's the way they do it everywhere. She was the only person that could see her room. Her bed was made with mud, and then they throw they throw a mattress on top of it. That is what she sleeps on. I don't know if that's how they make it for everybody there, but that was what she slept on. It was like mud. The bunk was mud. Then they throw a mattress on top of that. That was, and what surprised me that when she passed, I know she was about 89 or thereabout before she died. She's as tall as myself. Tall that way, she'd be about 6'2". She was never bent. She's always, even the last time I saw her, I was like, how can this woman still be straight? So straight, like not bending, still straight, 89. My grandfather died at 126, and he was still having kids at 100. And you see what I'm saying? What are the things these people did? What were the things they were doing? So that was part of it. So the grounding mat is something that you want to pay attention to, and then if you can get that mat, the mat would work. You can go online too and Google it. So it's not messy. Like I saw the pictures people did today. I was just laughing that people feel like this guy is making us to go and play with mud like we were kids, right? So they put there, and some people didn't do it. I understand those who didn't do it, like, well, why are we going to do this kind of stuff? But listen, sometimes obedience is always better than sacrifice. Just try it, do it, and see the results. See how it works for you, right? And then the grounding mats. Then there are adhesive patches. These patches, you can wear them on your shoes. If there are people who have kidney problems, okay, so there's a day we have set aside that you have to go do sauna, and there's a day for massage. One massage you want to do is reflexology. Reflexology. That is one massage you might want to do. You may want to write it down and just look around you in your area for who can do reflexology for you. It's a massage that is done on your feet. Why is the fact that every part of the sole of your feet is connected to major organs of your body. So that is the reason when you are doing grounding, right? I said it affects every organ. It's because on the sole of your feet, there are connections. There are specific areas, like your toe is connected to one organ, your big toe. The area after your toe is connected to another organ. And like that, and for your entire feet, is a reflection of the major organs in your body. So when you do grounding, you are creating a connection between the soil and your vital organs. So reflexology will help you in that. They can massage you, and as they're massaging you, they are making that connection to help adjust a few things in your organs, right? These adhesive patches, they are like, what do I call these things right now? What am I forgetting that right now? You put them in your shoes. In your shoes. You put them inside your shoes. You can remove them. If the shoes are too tight, you can remove them. If it's not too tight, you can put them to pad your shoes. Is it shoe pad? I think it's shoe pad or so. These patches are like that. So you put them into the sole of your shoes. Into your shoes, and you wear them. So you wear them not in the soles. Now you put them in your shoes, and then you put your feet in there, and then you wear them, and then just walk around with them. There are those that you can connect to power. Is going to have it generally. Like that. Then it's affecting the major organs through the connection between the sole of your feet and those vital organs. Then healing is taking place through grounding. All these are other ways with which you can ground yourself. Yeah, some people said you can walk on grass. The question is, please don't go and walk on synthetic grass and think that you are grounding yourself. When we say grass, we mean natural grasses. You can even sleep on it. All these are things that you can have in your compound. Have grasses, then a place where you can lay down in the sun or in the cool of the evening without any mat, without anything. Just lay on it. Be natural once more. Many of us have become so sophisticated. We need to go back to being a child and play like a child. Play with grass, play with nature, play with sand. Just play with nature and see how it helps you. See how it grows your health. See how your health is going to improve. See how it's going to help your sleep time. Grounding is going to help you sleep better. That one is guaranteed. Grounding helps with weight management. It's guaranteed. All these are things that it does because it will correct what is wrong, an anomaly within the system. What about people who have issues with their periods? I've seen that there are documented documents also for that. How grounding helps to balance hormones. And people who have hormonal distortion, cramps, period pain, period delay, just by sleeping on a grounding mat or by grounding their feet, they get these things resolved. Right. There is a lot to benefit from this. So I'm going to stop here because of our time and allow you to do something. Yesterday, somebody asked me, I was told that I didn't allow questions to be asked. So if you have a question, I will give you I'll take one or two questions. If there are questions, I will answer them real quick before we shut down the studio so that we can go and prepare for those people who have to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Then, yeah, Mrs. Todolaride, you're raising up your hand. Can you please go ahead?
Yes, I just want to find out if we do the sand grounding, how often will you recommend to do that? Like putting our feet in the sand? Is it every day or twice a week or what?
So what works is that for the sake of just general management now, I mean, so it's not like you have a condition you are dealing with at the moment, right? So I will advocate 1 hour a week, like the one we did today, as sufficient. If you have migraine, do 1 hour grounding. Migraine will disappear after 1 hour. Yeah, come back and tell me what you see. Just try it. If anybody has migraine, just do it 1 hour. You come back and tell me what you felt. It's as simple but as powerful, right? Very simple. Things we take for granted, right? So, but if there is a condition, depending on the severity of the condition, we could now make recommendation. Okay, do it every day, or you get the mat. Like the mat, I will recommend it. If there's anybody who is having a condition, any condition, you can order that mat because that is effortless. You can either order the mat or the sheet, like the bed sheet, and spread it on what, make it what you sleep on, and see the results after a few days.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mrs. Olumami, I see your hands raised up.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam. How are you?
Happy New Year.
I wish you the same.
I'm fine. I have a question. Concerning this, my period that is always so painful. So I went to see my doctor last week. He did a scan and he said he found 2 fibroid inside of me, and he's suggesting I should take off my womb. And it doesn't grow up even if they want to cut it and all that. So I just told him to hold on right there. So now this grinding, is this something that is going to help also in like fibroid? Because I don't understand.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Now, Ms. Olumami, we did an entire, like a month or so, addressing fibroids and hormone issues in women. I will want you to refer to those videos on the YouTube sessions, for proper advice. Number two.
Okay.
Yeah, number two. When it comes to medical approach in handling fibroid, complete removal of the womb is one of the suggestions. They either remove the womb completely or they want to remove the fibroid. If you are done having kids, there is nothing else you are doing with it. They can agree that they remove it. It's not going to affect you.
Yeah, I actually agreed because my tube is already tied, and the way he did it, he said they cannot untie it, so it's permanent.
Permanent tying of the okay. So if you are done with kids, because once the womb is removed, what that means is that you are going into your menopause earlier than you should go. The hormonal issues, the cramps, and the period issues, all of those things will be a thing of the past. Of course, fibroid will not thrive with women once they enter into their menopause. Fibroid is a distortion between the progesterone and the estrogen, which are 2 hormones that play different roles, and they interplay each other during the reproductive years for women, starting from menarche. I think there's a whole video about that menarche thing on YouTube. So That is the number
Okay.
two thing I want to say. So,
Okay.
how does grinding affect that? Grinding may not shrink the fibroid. So let me say that grinding may not shrink
Okay.
the fibroid, but what grinding will do is to help in the balancing of the hormones. Now, if grinding is helping you to balance the hormones, you should also not do things that will further distort the balance of the hormones. And there are several things that people do that distort their hormonal balance. That is the reason all of these are all holistic. Because somebody cannot try to, a room that is flooded, a tap broke and water is gushing out from the tap and the entire bathroom becomes flooded, and somebody gets there, is carrying a bucket, is trying to take the water from the ground and pour it into the bathtub, right? Without fixing the broken tap, you're only going to be wasting your time. Without fixing the broken tap, you'll be wasting your time. This is the reason that all of these are things that must be done in a holistic way. So grinding is going to help you balance the hormones, but if you keep doing things that will further distort the hormonal balance, it could also, it would be like grinding is not working at all, right? And I listed a whole lot of those things in those videos, several of them, from what you eat to contraceptives that are being used, skincare products, colognes and perfumes that are being used that are able to distort hormones in women. I listed a whole lot of them in those videos. If you need further advice on this, my advice is to consult. You can just send me a message via WhatsApp, then we'll kind of fix a time for you for consultation. Okay, so let me talk about the family consultation thing. Okay. All right. So I think that answered the question sufficiently. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So
thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So I said we will take 2 questions, and I think that will be 2 questions for now. If you have any other questions, yes, please. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, my name is Fadla Sanusi.
Okay. All right, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm from Dublin, Ireland.
All right, ma'am. Please go ahead.
I just want to ask the question about is grinding good for people that has type 2 diabetes? If it is, how many times a week? That's number 1.
Okay.
And number 2, I don't know if you have any video that maybe you've talked about type 2 diabetes. If it is, maybe you recommend for me where I can get it. But if not, please can you talk to us about type 2 diabetes and what somebody can take and whatever. That's just my question. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there another person whose hand is up? Mrs. Temita Yarumola, your hand is up.
Yes, I just wanted to add something to, or this is advice or suggestion to the person that always has a painful period. So I used to have a very painful one too, but since I started incorporating avocado and seed cycling into my diet, it's now a thing of the past. So if you try to include these things in your daily diet, it's going to help you. And what do I mean by seed cycling? Like including chia seeds, flax seeds, or hemp seeds in your smoothies or in your salad, at least a spoon every day, and avocado is really going to help you.
All right, so thank you so much for that contribution. So I will start from a case, then I will go to the diabetes issue from what Mrs. Temita just said about that. Avocado, okay, so that is not part of these 21 days. It's not part of 21 days. So March 1st of March, is the boot camp for weight loss, for weight management. And I also think March 11, I will check the dates and then announce it properly, is the Intraceutical Health College enthusiast class. A whole lot of the people who have been speaking are people who have gone through either the boot camp or the enthusiast class. I recommend the enthusiast class for you to be like an introductory medical class. We are not coming there to teach anatomy or all the big medical whatever, but they are just things that you need to know to help yourself and help the health of your family in the case of anything. Knowledge is very key. The best doctors are not doctors who medicate, they are doctors who educate. The best doctors are not doctors who give you medication. The best doctors are doctors who give you education. So when you go to a doctor and that before you are done telling him your symptoms, he is done giving you prescriptions, that is not a good doctor. A good doctor is that who sits you down, explain the process, what is going on in your body, why what is going on, and what you can do to avert it, to reverse it, and how what you can do to reverse it is going to work. That is a good doctor. He's not only teaching you, he's not only giving you a fish, he's teaching you how to fish. Because by the time he's done with you, you're also able to share the same knowledge and information with people around you. That is how to build a healthy community. So now that is the importance of that health college. It's a 4-weekend program. 4-weekend program. It runs Saturday and Sundays, 4 weekends in a month, and you are done. It's so enlightening. It's going to help you. It is powerful. All right. So we will let the dates are going to be released. We will let you see the calendar for the year, then you get excited. I know the dates are already out, but they will be released. So when it comes to the weight loss boot camp as well, the weight loss boot camp is like a school. Because of the so many products out there when it comes to weight management, people don't know what is what anymore. They don't even know what to do any longer. I have seen so many. I have read many. Myself, when I'm online, I see so many people coming up with so many. I'm like, where are they getting all this information from? Those that are dangerous to the health. Because, I've seen people who come to me and tell me that I want to drop 30 kg in 3 months. And I laugh. I tell them, you want someone who will kill you. I'm not the person who is going to kill you. Move your market forward. Right. Let me tell you this, because you did not accumulate the weight in 3 months. You accumulated it like sometimes in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And someone is telling you in 3 months you want to get rid of it. Even if you go for surgery. I know somebody who went for surgery, and then after doing the surgery, they referred her back to come back and do the things I told her to be doing. So I now ask the question, so why did you waste the money? Almost $10,000 gone down the drain. Now she cannot even, for the first 3 weeks after surgery, she cannot even eat anything except water. And even the water is even in measurement, is in measures. And I said to her, I told you then, check your diet, check your lifestyle, and you're going to see the results over time. There is a healthy way to lose weight. There are unhealthy ways that people are prescribing. They give them medications, concoctions, cocktails, and they think these things work, but they have long side effects. And I said, if the effect is not seen today, in 3 years, in 4 years, in 5 years, what is going to be the state of your health because of what you did 5 years ago? These are things you want to put to mind. So that weight loss boot camp, it runs for 12 weeks. Yeah, 12 weeks, 3 months. But we're not doing 3 months any longer. We're not going to be doing 1 month these days. It's just going to be for 4 weeks. Yeah, it's going to be 4 weeks. And then you will repeat everything that you have learned in 4 weeks for 2 months afterwards. Once it becomes a lifestyle for you, there is nothing we want to talk to you about anymore. You are fine. You're good. Okay? So what Mrs. Arumalara was trying to say there is this. Avocado. In that class, we'll tell you some fruits and how to identify what they can do for your body. Avocado is one fruit that when you cut it into two, right, the seed is on the inside of it. The seed of the avocado, the picture of it, and the picture of a woman that is pregnant, the womb of a woman with a child in it, they are similar. They are similar. What that tells us, or the knowledge we are able to glean from that, is that avocado has beneficial properties to every woman, especially in their reproductive years. Avocado is beneficial to the reproductive cycle of every woman. What are the things in in those circles? They are just the interplay and interchange of hormones that come to play between 25 to 30 days of every life of every cycle, right? So hormones are coming to play. Now, that is how that works. So avocado helps to balance the hormones. It is rich in omega-3. which is why I will always place avocado oil above every other oil. One, because of its richness in omega-3, and because of what it does to hormones, especially for women. And then number 3 is that avocado has a high heat rating. So for every other oil, their heat tolerance is not as high as the tolerance for avocado oil. For some other oils, when you boil them, when you heat them up at a particular temperature, they're already denatured. Avocado oil can see, sustain, and take up a lot of heat. In fact, it's about the highest, about 419 Fahrenheit, thereabout. That is what avocado oil can sustain before it begins to break and becomes trans fat. Right. Next avocado oil will be the cold press, extra virgin olive oil. These are things that you want to really, put into your system, and that's what she's done. And then the seed cycling too. Those seeds she mentioned, the chia seed, the sesame seed, and all those seeds. What is the main component of those seeds? Are the omega-3 fatty acids. The omega-3 fats, omega-3, omega-6, omega-9. All these are fats that you cannot find in so many of the food that people eat. And then people will tell you, oh, cod fish will give you omega-3, omega-6, omega-9. The amount of omega-3, omega-6, omega-9 you will find in these plants, in these seeds, they are much better and higher than the ones you will find in fish. Which is why we will say, okay, you can do it with animal protein, face some plant protein and plant-based diet to adjust a whole lot in your system. Omega-3, omega-6, omega-9, they are very important and relevant to hormone balance. So that was what she was trying to, that was what she just explained. She has not come to the enthusiast class. If not, she'll be able to tell you how it works. All right, so I just decided to tell you how it works. Okay, so for diabetes, right, let me say this, that I have not done any one on diabetes, and I've just made a note on that. I have spoken generally on diabetes, but I have not done any particular class on it. So I'm going to do a series on diabetes, especially even type 1 diabetes. Type 1. Type 1 is autoimmune. It's part of the autoimmune disorders that we talked about. So, and I mentioned it, grounding would help to resolve autoimmune disorders. Now, type 2 is not autoimmune. Type 2 is a function of diet and lifestyle. That is the cause, mainly. Grounding is going to help alongside diet adjustment and lifestyle modification. All right? So grounding is going to help alongside diet adjustment and lifestyle modification. What do you eat? What do you remove from your diet? What do you include into your diet? I call that intentional feeding. What do you feed on intentionally? What do you introduce in there so as to help your condition? These are the things that we will cover and do when it comes to diabetes. Grounding will do its part. It will do its job. For type 1, it will do its job. In fact, for type 1, very, very efficient will grounding be. Grounding will be very efficient for type 1. But always remember, I say that all these things will work in conjunction with diet adjustment and lifestyle modification. The same thing will go for type 2. It's going to work alongside diet adjustment and lifestyle modification. And a few supplements that will also be recommended will also go a long way to help the body to do the reversal and the healing process for people with diabetes, either type 1 or type 2. Either of the two can be sufficiently handled. All right? Okay, so thank you. So if you're not satisfied, if you still want further questions, further answers or clarifications, please my number is always on the group. I think it's, I'm going to drop it. Mrs. Olotta, can please help me drop my number on the WhatsApp group. So you could just send me a message via WhatsApp. I will respond to the messages. If there is a need for you to consult, I will let you know. If there is no need for consultation, I'll also let you know. I will just move on from there. But you can just ask your questions the way you want it to be asked. Somebody asked me, I have not been able to respond to that. I have several messages that are coming up. I haven't seen, but I read some and I couldn't respond. Somebody's asking me, can I get a link to all the sessions done so far? All the sessions done so far are on our YouTube page. You can go there from day one. The live, the 2121 Challenge TV started airing on the first day of the program and it's been on. We record everything and it's up there up to today. This one is also being recorded. You can flip back and just watch the episode you want to watch, refer to anything you want to refer to, and also recommend it. I also said yesterday, please subscribe. Just push the subscribe button so that whenever there is any new thing coming up, you can always get notification that there's something new that is dropping. I want to thank everybody for taking our time to be here this evening.
Dr. Deji, please, before you go, I have a question. So that I'm seeing you today.
Okay, Mr. Lumami, please go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Have you? I don't know if you've done classes on like for mental health, like for me, I noticed that when I read, I can't even remember. Like I'm forgetting stuff. So is there any is it maybe like because of what I'm eating or is age?
All right. So we have done. Also, there is. I think it's another 1 month on mental health. So go to the YouTube page. You'll find videos on mental health issues. At the beginning of this exercise, the very first day, we did water therapy, where we said you should drink. No, that wasn't water therapy. We just said ensure that you drink 2 liters of water for that day. And we encourage that you continue with that. If it's not even up to 2 liters, at least let it be between 1 liter and 2 liters of water you drink on a daily basis. One of the things I said that day, that should be day 1, the life therapy session day 1. One of the things I said was that 2/3 of the human brain is made of water. 2/3. When you are dehydrated, by the time you are thirsty, you're already dehydrated. When you are dehydrated, your brain cells begin to shrink. They begin to shrink. When you are over dehydrated, some of those cells may never be able to come back to normal. And many people are losing their brain cells. And when you lose your brain cells, you begin to lose your memory. I said that on that day. I said, some people leave the room. They leave the living room to go carry they want to go to the bedroom to pick their comb, their hairbrush. They get to the bedroom and they're asking themselves, why did I even come upstairs? And I said, it is becoming a common phenomenon these days. Many people are experiencing it, and it's becoming a normal part of our lives. We think it's just normal. Nothing is happening. It's just normal. You now go back to the living room. When you get back to the living room, you now remember, oh, I was about to comb my hair. That was why I went upstairs. You now go back again to go and put it. You say, it's normal. It is not normal. You know what is happening? You are losing part of your brain cells. And this is happening a lot to many of us because of the lifestyle we have adopted. A whole lot of the things we are doing right now can cause us to begin to lose part of our brain cells. Let water be part of our lives. You see those children, when you say kids are smart, kids are intelligent, it's not because they want to be intelligent or be smart. It's because of the certain things and behaviors of kids. And unfortunately, again, we are beginning to change that order. You see, when you keep 10 kids in the same room in 30 minutes, 1 hour is even too long. In 30 minutes, I always say 2 things will be the activities that will be going. Number 1, you hear, uncle, I want to wee. Uncle, I want water. Always check out if there are people here who handle children. They will tell you. Kids love to drink water. It's part of the things that is making up their brain. So their memory is so sharp. They retain things. Some of the things we learn while we are young stay with us for the rest of our lives. But now we are even changing that for those children because we are replacing water with so many beverages that are not even healthy. I was having a consultation with a parent with a child with autism. I'm going to put out my book on autism in about 2 months' time because of the success we have received, we have seen in handling autistic children. So I'm going to write a book. I'm working on a book on that. Now, and I told her, I said, any of those packs, those drinks that have aluminum laced on the inside, that we don't even know what is inside. Those Tetra Pak packages, those drinks. I don't want to mention the names of any brand right now. But the Capri and the likes that you give to those children to drink. Most times, fungi grows in them. Fungi grows in them. And we don't even know because we don't open those packs. We just put a straw in it, give it to them, and they zap everything. Not knowing that within that container, A lot of fungi, mold is grown in there. These are the things we are giving to our children. When such a thing, I mean, if there's growth in a particular drink, it's going to change the taste and the color of the drink. But because we don't even pay attention, we don't even taste it before giving it to the kids, and they zap everything in. And you see kids who are having many episodes of infection from one to another, tonsillitis to another thing. Every time an infection, and you are wondering, where is the infection coming from? Something, there's a Trojan that is already entering into your house through the drinks you are giving these children. Let us not train our kids to love other drinks above water. Let us not take water away from them. Let us make them keep asking for water. Let us make water their best drinks. That is what kids love. But when we begin to change them with other beverages, then since they know that there are alternatives, there are kids that they are lost for alternatives. They open their refrigerator from this one to that one. This one, you find all kinds of unhealthy drinks that parents have to give to them. And you look for water, nowhere to be found. So you are loading those kids, you are setting them up for a life of disease and infection. Okay? So that is my advice. If you are feeling that way, check your water level. You probably are dehydrated. And if there are other symptoms that you are seeing, please see me for consultation. There are other things that will also be prescribed. Like I said, diet adjustment, lifestyle modification, supplementation. In the videos, I mentioned those supplements, herbal supplements that are very good for the brain, for people who have mental health. Before you begin to take antipsychotic, antidepressants, I'm always appealing to people. Don't go that route too fast, too quickly. If you are having bouts of depression, don't go the route of antidepressant too quickly. Please consult. There are many things that you can do that will help you put you back and restore your mental health, rather than going on a journey of no return. If you check every antidepressant, antipsychotic, they will tell you their side effect is also depression. It's trying to cure depression. Depression is also a side effect of the medication. So why are you using it? So like I said to people, it's a journey of no return. Don't embark on that journey. There are several things that you can do, several herbs, adaptogens that can be used to help balance your mental health. All right, I think we have covered enough ground for today. Even done more than that for today. So tomorrow, the one step, one day for tomorrow. One thing, one day to a better health. Tomorrow is day 5. Tomorrow, you want to take fruit and vegetables only, veggies only. So you can do the frozen veggies, or frozen fruit. So when we say that, means tomorrow we are saying raw food only, no cooked meal tomorrow. Is it possible? Very, very possible. So you can start your day off with a smoothie, and then you grow into vegetable salad. And when you do your vegetable salad, we are saying no salad cream from the shelf. Don't do all of those ones. Your avocado can be turned into a paste, and you put olive oil or avocado oil into it as well. You match it. You put your oregano, you put your turmeric, you put your garlic, you put your ginger into it, and then it turns to a paste. And then that can be a good salad dressing for you. Very healthy. There is one that I recommended in the weight loss class. What's the name of that? Cilantro. You blend cilantro. That's a very good salad dressing. You can use that for your salad dressing. In the afternoon, you can snack on fruits for the entire day. Another note of warning is that as adults, people who are past the age of 35, do less of fruits and do more of vegetables. Vegetables are nourishers. Fruits are cleansers. Fruits are likely going to detox your system, right? If you take too much of fruits, you're likely going to go to the bathroom and all of that, aside from the other things I would do. But vegetables are nourishers, and I will advise that, cilantro. I will advise that you do more of vegetables. Your veggies, your leafy vegetables, your stem vegetables like potatoes, they are vegetables that you can do. So tomorrow we are saying no cooked food tomorrow. All of tomorrow is going to be fruits and veggies. It will be nice for you to take a picture of what you are doing, and you can send it, even if you cannot post it, because we are shutting down. I think we'll be closing down the WhatsApp group for comments after today. then till next Sunday, just because we want to ensure that there is order, and then you can look for any of the admins and personally send them your videos. If you have a picture of your smoothie, they will post it on the group. You can send them the picture of whatever you do, they will post it on the group. There are about 8 people who are in the admin. They are facilitators, they are enthusiasts, they've gone through the Earth College for enthusiasts, and then you can just send it to them. They can check it up, just to encourage other people and encourage each other to go on this journey. So tomorrow evening, the live therapy session, we're going to be talking about why do we need to eat raw food, and then somebody will be speaking about the DAR circle. So you're going to enjoy it. So let's meet in the morning by 6 a.m. for people who are in UK, and 6 a.m. for everybody except for people in Nigeria. 7 a.m. Nigerian time, for Nigerians. If you live in America or in Canada, it's 6 a.m. EST. 6 a.m. EST. So the fitness sessions will go on. A lot of people are giving very good comments on. I think I listened to a few of the comments from people about the fitness session. Mrs. Abigail Ajiri, I'm sorry I cannot take any more questions for today. Please forgive me. The time is fast spent. We need to close the session right now. But like I said, you can always ask your questions. Ms. Lotta is going to put my number on the WhatsApp group. So if you have any personal question, you can please ask. Dr. Ajayi is going to be with us. His session is going to be on Tuesday again. On Tuesday, he's going to come back on Tuesday. I think he has Tuesday, Wednesday, and I think Friday. Those are 3 times he's going to be with us in the week. You don't want to miss any of his sessions. He also has some training programs that he does that you may want to attend. Some of those training programs, especially when it comes to energy balancing. Energy balancing is one of the future of medical sciences. You want to actually go to attend some of his sessions. Coach Tokumbo is in the UK. He's a fitness trainer. Now, some of us may want to engage the services of a personal trainer. He's in UK, but he will do virtual training for you wherever you are. The distance is not a barrier. You may need the help of a personal fitness trainer. I recommend him because he has gone through some of our trainings, and then he understands he's not training you for the Olympics. Some people will train you and then you won't be able to walk again. He's not training for the Olympics. He knows what to advise you in terms of even your meal and your diet. He has some clients that have come out from us, and I look at it, I'm like, wow, this guy is doing a great job. He is very effective. Coach Tokumbo's details also is going to be put on the WhatsApp group so that people can actually engage his services. The only person who doesn't have a service yet is Coach Debbie, and Coach Debbie is our youngster coach. People who were in a program yesterday and day before yesterday can testify to the effectiveness of Coach Debbie. If Coach Debbie drives you, you're going to come out very strong, right? She was our coach at the FASH boot camp for kids. The FASH boot camp this year is going to come up in August, right, for children. It was an exciting boot camp they had last year. Kids came from everywhere in the world, and it was such an exciting time. We're going to do the same thing again this year for our children, to catch them young and teach them on how to make good choices when it comes to what they put in their mouth. Most of the adverts for bad food going out there, they are targeted towards our children, especially the female children. That they are the target of most of these adverts. So it's all a ploy to set them on the path of ill health so that they can patronize their medical whatever later on. So we can train our children while they are young, and they're going to be fine for it. All right, thank you, everybody. I want to say we will see you by 6 a.m. Please, 6 a.m., just come into the studio. Come with all you need to come with. Get a bottle of water. Wear the proper clothing that is necessary for the session to hold. Coach Tokumba is going to be with us in the morning. Thank you, and God bless. Have a peaceful night rest. I hope some people will sleep for 6-7 hours today, which is very important. Okay, then. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. All right, that is it from the studio. We just left the Zoom class. You can play this again. It's going to be available online. You can come back to watch the proceeds from this session, this live therapy session on grounding. I remain your host, your coach, your expert. DJ Alabi is my name. Okay, so that is it for today. Thank you everybody for joining. We'll meet again tomorrow, same time.